And then she said, no, not meiosis, mitosis.
Oh my god, dude, so on point. But seriously, you see that hot girl though?
Whoa.
She was so hot, she denatured my protein.
No!
So how was school today?
Yeah, you know, it was good.
Yeah, we learned about photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis.
Yeah, photo.
Photosynthesis.
Teach you about photosynthesis.
Okay, so today we're talking about photosynthesis. The first part of photosynthesis is light-dependent reactions. The sun plays a huge part in photosynthesis in plants. It's used for the light-dependent reactions on the thylakoid membranes of chloroplasts, which produce the energy carriers that are used in photosynthesis.
I know, we can act like plants. Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis.
Want to go to the park?
When the sunlight hits the pigments located on photosystem 2, or P680, located on the thylakoid membrane, the electron becomes happy and excited, and passes through the electron chain. Water is then split in photosystem 2, replenishing the electrons that are used by P680. Because of this split, half of an oxygen molecule is produced, along with 2 H+ molecules. These H+ molecules are sent to ATP synthase, which produces some ATP molecules. The electron is then passed down the electron transport chain to the different cytochrome molecules, such as PQ and PO. In the process of the electrons moving through the electron chain, H+ ions are pumped across the membrane through the use of proton motive force. During photosystem 1, the electron is passed through a series of molecules in the membrane and through NADP+ reductase, creating NADPH in the process. The NADPH and ATP are then sent to the Calvin cycle to produce glucose, or sugar.
Sugar, oh honey, honey, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you.
Okay, now let's talk about the light-independent reactions. The Calvin cycle, which takes place in the stroma, uses ATP and NADPH from the light-dependent reactions to convert CO2 into sugar, because they're energy carriers.
Carry on my wayward son, there'll be peace when you are done.
Carbon enters the Calvin cycle in the form of CO2, and leaves in the form of sugar. CO2 is first attached to a 5-carbon sugar called RUBP. This step is catalyzed by the enzyme Rubisco.
So he's a bit of a fixer-upper, so he's got a few flaws.
Like his peculiar reindeer.
This thing with the reindeer that's a little outside of nature's laws. So he's a bit of a fixer-upper, but this we're certain of. You can fix this fixer-upper up with a little bit of love.
ATP and NADPH are used in a complex series of reactions called the Calvin cycle that results in a single 3-carbon sugar after 3 cycles and regenerates RUBP in the process. It takes 6 cycles total of the Calvin cycle to produce 1 glucose molecule. Each Calvin cycle uses 3 molecules of ATP. Only 3. Ain't that thrifty?
I'm gonna pop some tags. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm hunting, looking for a comer. This is awesome.
RUBP is now ready to go again, and the process can continue.
The photosynthesis process we described here is known as C3 photosynthesis. Plants have evolved over time in order to survive and thrive in their environments. Because oxygen can also bind to RUBP, photorespiration can occur, resulting in no ATP or glucose production. Because of this, C4 plants have learned to use PEP carboxylase instead of Rubisco, because PEP has no affinity to oxygen. In C4 plants, carbon dioxide enters through the stomata and is immediately taken in by mesophyll cells. These cells use PEP carboxylase to convert CO2 to malic acid. They then pump the malic acid into the nearby bundle sheath cells, which surround the vascular bundle. Mallet then releases its CO2 into the bundle sheath cells, which incorporate it into the Calvin cycle. An example of a C4 plant is corn. On the other hand, CAM plants are adapted to the dry, arid environments. These plants keep their stomata closed during the day and open during the night, which is opposite of normal plants. They convert the CO2 into malic acid at night, and in the morning, malic acid releases its CO2 in order to produce glucose through the Calvin cycle.
Okay, to summarize all that, C4 and CAM plants both have mutations to fight against photorespiration. C4 plants separate the light-independent reactions by space, and CAM plants separate the reactions by time.
Okay, let's have some fun with this.
ASAP photosynthesis! Glucose?
CO2.
Yo, we talking about photosynthesis, listen to this. Goal is to make glucose, but not too much so you don't become a comatose. Now the first thing is we need some light from the heavens, shine so bright, then the electron starts acting crazily, infecting everyone else like cancer. Dangerously, now once the electrons get high off that sun, water gets split, turns into free hydrogen, and the hydrogen is the chosen one, creating NADPH and ATP. We got the energy molecules that we need. Photosynthesis, 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 photosynthesis. We all need this.
Photosynthesis!
Photosynthesis. What you need? Now, in the Calvin cycle, there ain't no rival. This happens in the stroma, can't see me like glaucoma. Talking about stacks on stacks on stacks.
Of allocoids.
Racks on racks.
Look up!
RUBP creating CO2. GP3 now 2. 5 more tests. And we got that glucose sugar in my food. What?
That's a wrap.
Jitej,